It's live, pal. Let's talk about the MCU. So it stands for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We all know that. But I feel like there's a general misunderstanding of what exactly that means. Some people will say Venom is in the MCU, or anything that's a movie is MCU. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., MCU. Well, you know those Netflix shows, Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Those are Netflix shows. Those Defenders are in the MCU. Here's my understanding of universes, according to what Doctor Strange's ancient one said. She says, "You got neighbors, please." She says, "You got this stream of time that goes from here to here. If you take a stone out of it, then the universes will collapse in itself, and it will cause chaos." And then Banner says, "I'm gonna put these stones back in place at the moment we took them." And then the stream of time. I don't know how he had the powers to influence the Ancient One's magic. She's this sorcerer supreme, but whatever. He puts back the time stone in the diagram, and then it turns back to orange. Okay, here's what happened though. What she said didn't. Thanos erased the stones. Going to sleep, but I'm listening in. I got you, Second Street Marvel. Thank you for joining me regardless. Thanos erased, destroyed, turned everything to dust in the stones. Wanda turned everything to the Mind Stone into dust herself. It's just that Thanos brought the Time Stone, reversed everything back to normal. But it happens. Then Thor chops off his head, and 5 years pass. What the Ancient One was threatening did not actually happen. And I could be proven wrong in the new Doctor Strange movie, but to my knowledge, 5 years passed. There were not dark dimensions attacking our reality as we know it, and it was the end of the world. That did not occur. Maybe the X-Men were saving the universe, but as far as I know, it wasn't happening that way, right? That's safe to say. That's undisputable, undeniable. That's how things went down. In the multiverse, though, they visited different times. So they entered the quantum realm, and they entered a different time of the universe that they were familiar with. They created branch realities. I'm calling all of those individual universes. So to make things simple, the MCU that we've been watching, all the films that we've seen, happens on Earth 199999. 1 and 5 nines. On that Earth, things happened. In their comic books that we read, because this is part of the same multiverse, 616 is the universe we're familiar with. That's why in the commercial for Far From Home, listening to Mysterio say, "Our dimension is Earth 616, I'm like, hold on a minute now. That just does not compute. And you can't say this is 616 in the movies, but this is 616 in the comics. No, they're all in the same multiverse of heroes. So in this multiverse, Earth 199 is the Marvel Cinematic Universe we've known all along. In this universe, Captain America was in ice, came back, did all the movies that we've seen him through, and at the end of Endgame, he goes away to return all the stones to the places they're supposed to be. And now another Captain America was waiting there. That is impossible by the logic that we learned from the whole movie. Except you got to understand that the universe that we live in, Captain America was there the whole time. There is a universe where Captain America takes all 6 stones, takes Mjolnir, says goodbye to Bucky and Sam, and everything plays out exactly the way that our movies have gone, except he's not there by the bench. The movies that we've all been watching happens to take place in the universe where a Captain America did all of that stuff, and he just was laying low. Captain America was just hiding, married to Peggy Carter, not saying anything, not getting involved, just being in love. And Peggy is a spy who can keep a secret. Boom. Nick Fury has a wife. He's kept that a secret until he died in Winter Soldier. But that's how it operates. The whole MCU we've been seeing, the Earth 1 and 5 nines, that universe had a Captain America the whole time. How did he get a shield? I don't know, but the man had 6 Infinity Stones. I'm sure right before he started his journey, he's like, okay, I'm returning Thor's hammer. I'm going to need a shield. Infinity Stones, do your thing. He got a shield. Easy for me. And now Falcon has that shield. I feel like that's a solution to that issue. And I don't even think they'll even address that as a problem in their show. They might have to adjust the Captain America thing. I can tell you that Stephen Marcus and Christopher McFeely, the screenwriters, Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors, they don't hold the cameras, but them have given different answers to this question. One of them said that Captain America lived his whole life in the past and in another universe, time branch reality, and then on his last days he returned to the scene where we see him on the bench. Well, then why didn't he return in the place they were expecting him to return, where he missed his timestamp? You know what I mean? That's baloney. I feel like that's the answer to that question, and nothing I've seen contradicts that. And all they need to do is listen to the videos like this and adapt it, and they'll be better off for it. So that's the multiverse. Within this multiverse, some of these universes were created by going in the quantum realm and creating new realities. Some of these universes we've seen in films like the X-Men movie, the X-Men 2 movie, X-Men 3, the Days of Future Past stuff. All of those Fox X-Men movies happens to be in the same multiverse as the MCU, as the movies that we've all been seeing. Another thing, Spider-Man with Sam Raimi, same multiverse. Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, same multiverse. Excuse me. Well, Spider-Man or the Sony Venom stuff, the Spunk, yes, they are calling it a different universe. The Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. It is the same multiverse that the movies take place in. The New Mutants movie that's coming out is in the same multiverse. What this means to me is you can hire the same actors, because J. Jonah Jameson looks like that in the 2001 movies and that universe's films, and Jameson looks exactly the same over here. Why is that? Well, everything is going to be a little bit different, but some things will be the same. Same multiverse. If they get Patrick Stewart, sure. If they got the Wolverine character who played Logan for the longest time, whose name escapes me, Hugh Jackman, it's possible. I wouldn't want it, because you're not going to do a whole franchise with a guy who's in his 50s. You cast young so that he's under he's within the age of Wolverine for the next 20 years that you're going to be using him, because that's the Marvel movies. They're going to be going for another 20 years before they reboot. They've got no reason to restart. They will restart eventually. Let's not get that twisted. And when they do, they're going to just do everything right. We might even get Namor to begin with. Just do what happened in the comics. Do a couple of Captain America in the 50s movies, and then bring them up to the present. Remember, back in 2008, we were only getting two films, Hulk and Iron Man. 2009 was nothing. 2010, we got one film. 2011, we got two films. 2012, we got one film. 2013, we only got Iron Man 3. 2014, we got two. But you know how slowly we built? And today we're like, we got 4 films in 2022. We can have a movie in November of 2022. We don't even have anything scheduled for November 2022. It might even be a 5-movie year. Plus the Disney Plus series that happen in the same universe, in Earth 19999. Except for Loki, which is not in the same universe as all the rest. You can even say Loki is outside of the MCU. His movie is going to take place in the time between Avengers, or not the time between, but the time period. That's confusing. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. It's already happened. What's already happened? The New Mutants movie isn't going to happen. It got filmed. It'll come out August 28th until the next delay. But that's the thing with these guys. They don't expect to make money with New Mutants to film. They'll just be like, let's test the waters and see if people are ready. This is a great indicator of how many people will show up for the Black Widow movie that's coming November. But at least it's putting out something. And it's something you don't really care about. Free money. You didn't at all create this film. It's just something you got from Fox. So it's free money, and it's just a way to get people in the theaters with a superhero movie. Yeah, it already happened. It got filmed in 2016, maybe. Damn. Loki happens outside of the MCU. I'm sure some shenanigans will happen where the Time Variance Authority will come and they'll enter our universe, and Loki will be back in that matter. But the Loki we all know died when Thanos choked him. No tricks now. You're actually dead. Allegedly, it will be out. Can you imagine if they delayed it one more time? I don't know. I feel like this Kororo Monroe stuff is over. It's done. It's slowing down. The fear is everyone thinks it's a pandemic anyway. Plandemic anyways. I don't who's gonna. the number of confirmed cases compared to the number of deaths isn't accurate because it's not like we're testing everyone. I'm pretty. If you ask me, I have nothing to base this off of. So there's all this. I'm biting my tongue because of misinformation and how YouTube's being with censorship. But I'm sure that more people had it and didn't go to the doctor and take the test. I'm pretty sure it's a very contagious and it's not deadly for young people, for healthy people. It'll get the people who are out of shape, which doesn't disqualify me. Look at me. But that's my thoughts on that. I feel like it's peaked and it's gone. I don't see like another wave of it coming. That's just my take on that. We didn't need to close all the businesses either for 3 months. Wow, if we're gonna close the businesses and we're gonna close the borders, we should have went all out and fully closed everything. Like everyone stay home. I'm not allowed to leave my house to go outdoors so that I don't spread it. We're already closing the business. The worst is done. We're closing small businesses. Everyone's going to suffer for it. We might as well take it seriously and go full out rather than recommending you to stay home because then just people are out and about just doing what they're supposed to do. We didn't take it seriously. We didn't take it seriously enough. Even when we were complaining about other people not taking it seriously in the past, it was just weird. It was the wrong take on it. Either you hands off, everyone just live normally, let it be. Businesses are allowed to be open. If you're allowed to get in crowds, you're allowed to go to the movie theaters to see Black Widow on May 1st because I would have been there. I don't care, mask on or anything. I would have been there, Black Widow, May 1st, but they made it illegal to do that. They made gatherings of more than 100. Back to MCU. Okay, that's my universe talk. So you get it? The MCU is Earth 1999999. That is the MCU. That's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They visited other universes with the time heist, different universes. Everything that we saw was a different universe. So we had 23 films that happened in the MCU. One of those films, Endgame, also happened with scenes in other universes. The way that we use universe doesn't mean a Marvel Studios production. That just means Marvel Studios because Marvel Studios is doing something called What If. Marvel Studios is doing something called Loki. These are outside of the universe that we know. What If is just, it's animated, it's imaginary, it's what if, it's fan fiction. Daredevil, Netflix, if they want to use those characters and bring them in, I can be like, yeah, I guess Daredevil does look like Charlie Cox in the MCU. And if they want to contradict something that happens in the Daredevil Netflix, fine. It'd be better not to, just so at least the fans who viewed that can feel like all the knowledge I obtained works. Star Wars has a bad reputation of doing it. Remember we were talking, Sterling, about the novel of Marvel, of Star Wars, the Ahsoka novel, and then the Ahsoka Clone Wars events, and how some of it doesn't line up. I hate for that to happen, but Kevin Feige never promised Daredevil would be part of the universe. He did promise Inhumans would be part of the universe. It was part of that slate. It did get that announcement treatment, but for some reason, they didn't follow through on the Inhumans, and too bad. Inhumans is not part of the MCU. It aired on ABC. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mentioned it, but no. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not MCU. They pretend like they are, but when all the heroes assembled at the end of Avengers Endgame, where was Quake? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out. If you try to tell me they're in another timeline, they went back in the past, it doesn't work for me. All right. Couple questions. Even with how things are, I'd have been there 2 weeks ago, even if, Marvel has me every time I'm in the theaters. What other universe did they go to in Endgame? The universes that they went to were all of the ones that they went to during the time heist. They split up into teams. They went to the 1970 time period, and when you enter the quantum realm and re-enter somewhere else, you just created a new universe. Their words were branch reality, but it's a new universe until I'm proven otherwise. So that's another one, the 1971. Even the test run, where they sent Clint back to his home and he called for his kid, and then he went back in time, back to his regular universe. There is an alternate universe that is created where his daughter comes down the steps, Dad, and goes back up and everything goes back to normal. I'm sure that's like a parallel universe where nothing really changes, but another universe was created because of what they said. Good day, lonely banter. Interesting. That's what I'm saying. Nah, they just went back in time. They did not go back in time because the time period that they went in did not exist. They went they went the furthest to explain that part when Hulk was telling War Machine how we can't just go to baby Thanos and kill him. He's like, you can't just go back in time because then you'll return to your regular thing, and those events did not change. Like, I'm back in my regular time stream and everything is exactly how it is. They didn't actually go back in time. They created new universes. They went back in time. They went back in their own time. Yes, they did go back in their own time. But by doing that, they created a new timeline that happened. So they reversed. This is the time stream, yeah? I'm Doctor Strange right now. It goes from here. This is the Avengers 2012, and it goes all the way to Avengers Endgame. When they return to 2012, now imagine that there's two lines here. There's a line that goes from here all the way to here. And there's the original line I talked to you about, which was from here all the way to here. At Avengers Endgame, they went back in time and then created another timeline right here. That's this line I was telling you about. And they changed and altered that timeline. It's parallel. It's the same. It's almost the same, except for the stuff that happens over here where they take a couple of, over here where they take a couple of time stones. They take what else did they take? The Mind Stone and the third stone that they took. Actually, they went to 1970 for that, which means they created another timeline right over here that goes from here all the way to here. They got the blue Tesseract from over here. Above, they got the two Mind Stone and the Time Stone, and then they returned to this timeline that we know as Earth 19999, the MCU. I wish I had a sling ring, but I didn't. How do you guys feel that I explained that? What's going on, Asian Funk Comics? I watched your video on the wasn't your idea, but you did the thing with the comic book nerd challenge, and then I took one with Comic Book University like 5 weeks ago, maybe the same week when everything was, well, when everyone was doing a video on it. A new universe could have been created, but they didn't go to a different universe. They went back in time. But you just said a new universe was created, so how did they not go to a different universe? They went back in time and made a new one. I think you're saying what I'm saying, but they didn't go to another universe. All right, so you're saying they went to another branch reality, and you don't consider another branched reality another universe. That's what you're telling me. It's very hard to talk about time travel, but I think I nailed it. I think I know what you mean. I consider a different branch reality a different universe. Similar, yet different. You're talking about the world line theory. Isn't it called string theory? Where a different event means a different time period. Instead of A, you did B, so it's a new timeline. Yeah, instead of A, you did. I think I'm talking about that. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going back creates the new one. They simply travels back. You might have had a typo there because I don't get that. Going back creates the new one. They simply travels back. You did have a typo, so what did you mean? Traveled. Going back creates the new one. They simply traveled back. I guess we disagree, Trinity. Man, it's been a good year, but this is our first fight. We're going to have to settle it on Twitter. I'll meet you there in about 5 minutes. Does anyone have more questions on this? I think I've said everything I needed to say. I know it was complicated as hell, but that's the way I feel about it. Different branch realities meant different universes. Loki happens in another universe. It's wrong to say MCU when you're talking about things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Cloak and Dagger and Runaways. It's wrong to say things about like Cottonmouth. In Luke Cage, there was a guy named Mahershala Ali who's going to be Blade. They're the same human being. Guys, it's not the same universe. That for sure. No one's going to doubt me there. But with Endgame, I'm even saying what happened with Loki is a different universe. Every show, everything we see, we'll see that the Time Variance Authority will come in that show and they're going to explain that Loki, you don't belong in this universe. A bunch of universes were created thanks to this quantum realm stuff. And you guys got to shut that down. We're going to put you back where you belong. And then I guess Loki will get the better of them and he'll enter Earth 199999. Hold on, Second Street Marvel, if you're still here. If Earth 199999 is the MCU, then what Earth is Loki on? He took a Tesseract, he escaped the clutches of Thor and Iron Man. What Earth is he on? The 2012 version when they went back in time. We'll wait for your answer because you ain't got the answers. Sway. We're reaching the 20-minute mark, so I will end this soon. I want to hear what you have to say about that. Should I sing? Um, they the thing is, they created a branch from where they intervened. They created a branch. Yeah, you're calling it a branch. But they simply traveled back in time to create that branch. As much as they traveled back in time, which they did, they traveled back to a time. It wasn't their time. There's no way that they could travel back into their time. They traveled back into their time by creating a new timeline, and that's the time that they went to. They never went back into their time because their time was from here to here. Well, sorry, I'll be consistent with what I was saying earlier up top. This was their time, and they went to another place down here. That's what I'm trying to say. I do get what you're saying though, and it's just our interpretation of the branched reality. 21 minutes into the thing. I don't have an outro. I usually just end the broadcast